Hey, so Postamites, welcome to the third. Welcome to the third official COA podcast with SKO'S.
Sup?
And Will.
Yo!
God, that took a while to respond. Fucking on the ball, man. Come on. What's wrong with you?
I responded immediately. Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you, Skype audio delayedness.
Delayedliness. Nice word.
Delayed.
Noose.
I'm turning into Irishness now. Delayed.
Okay, so we have 3 topics today. Will, what's your topic?
My topic is going to be talking about the split with the show The Completionist on YouTube and how it kind of relates to the audience, and also the Game Grumps split.
Sweet. Okay. Fluffy, what's your topic?
Shit, I've forgotten.
Said it 2 minutes ago.
I know, I'm terrible for this. I forget in the middle of the fucking podcast. What are you on about? No, my podcast,
Your podcast?
my topic in the podcast.
Fluffy can't human right.
I don't know how to languages. Right, it's about patches. That's it. It's about it's about patches. Is patching a good thing or a bad thing? SKO'S, what's your topic? Yep.
My topic is board games, and are they becoming obsolete or are they still relevant and enjoyable?
Board games.
Board games. You heard me right.
They've got the word board in there for a reason.
Okay, so we will start the day off with PapaKenn's topic. Please go into a little bit of depth, and then we'll get some responses going.
Alright everyone, so we made a bit of a last-second decision here. I'm going to be talking more about just YouTubers and groups within YouTube splitting up in general, as opposed to just the completionist splitting up. And
This is the perfect time for me to announce I'm quitting the cult of awesome.
Thank fuck for that.
bye,
Hey, I get some of the best viewed videos on our channel. I'm second. PapaKenn's first.
Well, screw you both. I done the artwork and it gets the most compliments, so fuck you both.
I do the music and he gets the most compliments.
It
mate.
doesn't.
He should do.
I've got the prettiest face, and it gets the most compliments.
Sad.
You don't even do a face cam!
Exactly!
What does that say about us, Fluffy?
But alright, back on topic.
Yeah, back on topic, come on.
No, I'm happy to stay off for a while. That's a genius.
No, back on topic, because you've got a lot of editing to do.
Oh, yeah, fuck no. Back on topic now.
Alright, so I think there's two of the biggest things that are involved with these split-ups. Is one, the sort of the politics or the personal feelings from the people that actually go through the split-up when, you know, the YouTube groups break apart. And then also the fans. The biggest part of which is the fans, because I feel like with YouTube, sort of, instead of just watching TV where there's that very impersonal divide, with YouTube, especially on a lot of channels where the people appear on screen like I do with PapaKenn Media, or like you guys do with a lot of the face cams, and I eventually will with the face cams, you know, there's more of that connection with the audience. So when something big like that occurs, bless you.
Thank you.
The fans feel more obligated, or they seemingly feel more obligated to that they need to know exactly what's going on. Like it's like, you know, 2 of their actual friends decided to no longer be together, or basically they just feel entitled that they need to know exactly what's going on, and if they don't figure out what's going on, that's like there's some big conspiracy, or they decide to take sides as opposed to just respecting, you know, the creators that used to work together for who they are. And like that aspect just pisses me off, because yes, there is the more relatable side to it, you know, like I mentioned, where people are in front of the camera interacting with their audience on a certain level, but at the same time, it's a fucking business. You know, if they're making money, it's a fucking business, and you need to be able to respect, 1, that sometimes you just can't learn certain details because of contracts, and 2, you need to fucking respect the people's decisions.
Yeah, so the best example I can think of is...
Hold on, who the fuck just beeped on Facebook?
Not me.
Not me.
You prick!
I haven't got Facebook open!
No one beeped then, you're just hearing shit.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just hearing stuff, dude.
Right, as I was saying, The best example I can think of is Charles Trippy and Ali Trippy, because like they grew up their whole like freaking life and their family, and like they got married on YouTube. Their whole life took place on YouTube. Like I'm sure they set the Guinness World Record for the most daily vlogs. Like I'm sure it was like 3 or 4 years non-stop continuous daily vlogs.
Right, challenge accepted.
I know, right? And when they split up, that was like the biggest fan division I've ever seen. There were so much taken sides, because obviously like if you've watched these people every single day for 4 years, then you're gonna feel like a huge part of their life, even though you're actually not. But like, so there was a huge fight there, and then it wasn't even like a month later, Charles Trippy had a new girlfriend that was essentially just with them for the sake of, I want to be famous as well. Like you can go and watch like the videos where she's entered into it. She's pure like hugging the camera and being like, "Oh yes, he's the love of my life," kissing him and everything.
No, I think she's a gold digger.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And obviously from that she can gain her own fan base and be like, "Yep, fuck you, I've got my own fans now." But yeah, that was like the biggest split I've seen. That was just like a shocker to everyone. The amount of people who were crying over that was just ridiculous.
So
but,
what,
like,
she's just holding him just to get successful.
Yeah.
anyway, so yeah, that's like the worst sort of example I can think of when it comes to YouTube splits. I can't think of anyone else. Fluffy?
I probably can.
I know that Callan is pal split. Do you know the story there?
I don't know the story. I think I've still got Luke on Facebook, but I do not talk to like anyone from the old PUI games or PIU days.
Okay.
With reason, I don't know many breakups, but I can imagine a good few scenarios where that would be a serious problem. Like for example, I don't know how familiar you guys are with the SKO'S.
Nah, I don't watch them.
You probably should, because there's so many of them, you can guarantee you'll find something you'll like. That's what I love about them. And basically, the SKO'S started off as one YouTube channel with Lewis and Simon, and now the SKO'S is a network. Well, it's not like a traditional YouTube network, but it's sort of a network of people more than a network of making money. And as in that sort of sense, it's become its own business. Like they've got their own building that they operate out of and everything. You know, they've got their own pure business set up for it. So I can imagine, for example, if like, for example, Duncan left the SKO'S, that they would lose some demographic, but at the same time, as long as there wasn't any sort of a slanging match between them, realistically, both of them could keep their demographic. So I think what starts the sort of the loss in demographic is the fight that ensues.
Yeah.
So where I really stand with this is, once again, airing your laundry in public. I actually really hate when people do that. So if they just fight between themselves and then just say on camera, look, we decided we don't want to work with each other, we're still close friends, even if you're not mates, just say we're still close friends.
Yeah.
Then neither of you is going to suffer. Because don't forget, by saying we had a fight, you could just as much be shooting yourself in the foot, because it turns out the demographic was all theirs.
Yeah.
You know. So as long as you're sort of nice about it, if people like both your content, then you're fine. But if, like, for example, Simon suddenly turned around and called Duncan a bastard on camera, I think a few people are going to side with Duncan.
Yeah. Okay. So instead of concluding this topic with last minute thoughts, I've thought of something fun for us to do to conclude this one. Let's pick out the YouTube duo or the YouTube group that would cause the biggest amount of collateral damage if they split up. So, PapaKenn, what YouTubers, if they split up, do you think would cause the most collateral damage?
Wow, that's a hell of a question to spring on us last second there, Sko.
I've got a fantastic one.
So do I.
Jeez,
Okay, we'll give
Okay,
you a
can we
minute
skip
to
you and then come back to something?
Yeah, we'll give you a minute to think.
Yeah.
Fluffy, go for it.
Well, actually no, you first go, because I've got two, and I want to make sure I don't steal yours.
Okay, I've got two as well, so hopefully we don't steal each other's. The first one I think would cause the biggest amount of collateral damage is Smosh. If
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
If Smosh split up, that would just tear down YouTube. And the other one is PewDiePie and Marzia.
See, I was thinking that, but I sort of decided against it, because Moxie is not all that huge.
Yeah.
So it'd be sort of like, all the bros would just think, like, fuck her, she's a bitch.
But think how many people subscribe to YouTube in the hopes of seeing her in a video. Like, sorry, subscribe to PewDie in hopes of seeing her.
Well, same thing really. Well, the one I chose, just because these guys are not exactly equally big, but because they are like the two biggest British YouTubers.
Oh, I know who you
is,
are.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking, don't you?
Yep. Dan and
Amazing.
Phil.
Yeah, Dan and Phil.
God,
Imagine the fucking Those two having a go at each other. I mean, no punches would be thrown. They haven't got a fucking punch between them. Imagine them two in a fight, like just like arms flailing at each other.
They would end up hugging, to be honest.
Yeah, just like, please don't punch me.
PapaKenn.
Alright, well, before I actually say mine, let me just say that I don't watch Smosh, I don't watch PewDiePie. Alright, at least for me, as far as the channels I watch, the only one I can think of is if just the Game Grumps group, even though, you know, there was the split with Aaron and JonTron a while back, like, if they just completely split up as a group now, I think that would
totally
cause a pretty big issue, especially considering there's 2 million of them now, or like 2 million subscribers.
I thought you meant Game Grump.
Wait, who did I say?
I thought it was me. I thought you said there was 2 million Game Grumps. I shot myself.
2 million Game Grumps.
Yeah.
Right, let's get moving on to the next topic. We'll do mine next, which is the... yeah, we can leave you last this time. I always do mine last. So...
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you did mine last on the first one, I think.
I didn't direct the first one. The first one was like chaos.
I don't remember anymore.
My topic is board games. Are they still relevant, or are they, like Fluffy quite rightly said, are they boring and not fun anymore?
Okay, just to sum up that question in one though, how many people do you know use Steam?
A few. I know more people that play board games than use Steam.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's me
why I
fucked
chose.
in the arse.
That's why I chose this as my topic, because
Never mind.
I've got quite a close friendship group who are very into their board games, and every time I visit them down in Wales, they play just a totally different variety of board games. And at first, like, I've never really took much of an interest. Like, yeah, board games are cool, whatever. But like last time, not last time, the time before that when I was down, they introduced me to a game called Betrayal at House on the Hill, and I was like, right, I don't understand, but I'll play anyway. And see, by the end of it, I was on edge. I was hooked as to how exciting it was and the possibilities. When people think board games, they tend to think like Snakes and Ladders, like it's a very set route and you have to do this. I didn't realise just how open-ended it is. There's so many endings and stuff. And then when I went down last time, we played a game called Dead of Winter, which is a zombie survival game. I was more stressed out playing this game than I was sitting exams in school. Like, honest to God, this game, like, you basically, how it works is you have morale. Like, so at the start of the game you get maybe out of 10 morale, you start with like 5, and there's so many rounds, it's all decided based on your dice rolls. You start off with 2 characters each, but as you search places and do stuff, you can bring more, so you can end up controlling like up to like 10 characters. But every time someone dies, you lose morale. Anytime there's too much rubbish at base camp, you lose morale. Anytime a zombie attacks you, you lose morale. So if your morale hits 0, the game's over. You all lose. So you are constantly trying to do everything at once. You're trying to like complete your main objective, complete your side objective, keep the rubbish from piling up. There's so much to think about. You have to work as a team. Then you get someone who's the betrayer and his goal is to try and kill everyone. And it is just, and you never find out who it is because they have to try and subtly do it.
And it's so just, sick.
It is the most, it is insane. There's so much going on. You've got so much to process. And honestly, I had more fun playing that than I have had playing Prop Hunt. I think why I think board games will continue to thrive is because, yes, in Steam you can talk over like Skype, but see, just being in the room with someone, having a couple beers and having a laugh playing it, I think that's what makes board games survive, is the fact that it's a very community-based thing. Like, you can just go and have a couple pints and like laugh about it and joke about the game while you play. Obviously, if you can take it serious if you want, but it's still a really, really good laugh, and it's the kind of thing that can really bring friends together. So yeah, I think board games will thrive, and I think they're only going to get better because the ones I've played were phenomenal, and it really converted me into someone who wants to play more. So Fluffy, let's get your thoughts on this.
I must admit, there was if there's one board game I would like to try, it is Dungeons and Dragons. And I've never been massive on fantasy. Like, Skyrim is my limit, and I must admit, I do want to try Dungeons. I want to be able to say the fucking name. That's what I want to. Dungeons and Dragons. See, I don't know, because board games to me I associate as when I'm a kid. Because, like, you know, growing up playing stuff like Monopoly and Cluedo. And
see, those are more family-based board games, though. They're not really like the role-playing board games that you get, like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff.
God, that was good coffee. Well, I don't know. I've never played board games like that. I'd like to. I mean, that one you were describing earlier sounded fucking awesome.
So good. We need to. Oh my god, when we.
Right, no, you buy that board game, and when we meet up to go to City, you fucking bring that down, son.
I shall do. It's so
Fuck a night out in London, we're having a board game night, mate. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played board games for the last 15 years. I can imagine, like, me being a story kind of guy. I do like story in games, like, as much as anything else. I like sort of, well, more immersion than story. I like role-playing in games where there aren't role-playing. Like, I will pretend that my character is some super badass kind of guy, even if there's, like, no backstory whatsoever. I give him a backstory. So, I can imagine, like, a board game where you sort of make your... I mean, I know this isn't technically a board game, but have you guys ever read those books where it's like...
Yes, I know the one you're talking about straight away, and I fucking love those books.
I can't think what they're called. I can't think of the author.
No.
But it's like, what you do is, they're only like that big, they're that tiny books, but you sort of choose, you've got like you've got a character sheet in the front with all your stats and everything, and you have to sort of like rub it out and change it and stuff like that, and you get paragraphs which are numbered, and for every time you make a move, you go to that numbered paragraph, it tells you which paragraph to go to, and you take your own path.
Yeah.
I spent hours and hours and hours just doing these quests, and I fucking love them. And
Okay.
I'm going to find out what they're called, and I'm going to put it in the description.
I was about to say, for the viewers who sound interested in that, I'll put a link to the 2 board games I mentioned as well in the description, because you can buy them on Amazon.
Alright, Scott, send me a link on Facebook when you're done.
Cool.
And I'm interested in them all, so there you go.
Cool. PapaKenn, what are your thoughts on board games?
Well, I'm like Fluffy in that I haven't actually played any board games like that, but I have friends that have played them, and the more I hear about them, like, the more I'm interested. And I don't know, I definitely feel like they're going to continue to thrive because, I mean, the direction video games have seemingly gone now, especially with Steam. It's like people can make, you know, a game seemingly in half an hour and apparently sell it, and that's going to make people sort of, in my eyes, start to move away from, you know, playing certain video games or using Steam. Whereas with board games, people put in all this effort and all this thought into making the best experience possible. And as long as people are doing that, there's going to be an audience, and the audience is going to continue to grow. I mean, hell, I'm definitely wanting to become part of it.
Let's do concluding thoughts on board games. My 2 cents on it is, if you haven't tried it, and you are interested, give it a go. I will link the games that I was talking about in the description. They do take a while to actually understand how to do it. But put it this way, right? That Betrayal at House on the Hill game, last time I played it with my friend, his character was a 9-year-old girl, and single-handedly she fought a demon army, a demon lord, and zombies single-handedly with an axe. If that doesn't scream fucking epic scenario, I don't know what does.
That is pretty damn better.
I love
Like,
that.
the scientist, the warrior, the army guy all get taken out by zombies, and there's this little girl standing at the end of a hallway with 2 axes in a hand being like, bring it on, motherfuckers, and single-handedly took them all out. So, okay, Fluffy, concluding thoughts on board games?
I don't know. I want to get into it. Like, seriously, that sounds epic as fuck. I think I'd rather... How much is that board game about?
40 quid. Both
I'd
of them
rather
are.
spend 40 quid on that board game than 20 quid on Steam the way that sounds right now.
Well, there you go.
And I like money.
PapaKenn, concluding thoughts?
I'm pretty much in the same boat too. It's like I definitely want to find a game that I know that at the very least both Jill and I could play, because she's not a fan of video games, but I think if I found a good board game like that, she could really get into it. So yeah, I'm on board.
The thing I like...
I think
Sorry.
that if me and SKO'S ever went and visited you, we'd just see you sat there in like a Nord's hat, just like crouched in the basement. Like, we open the door to see, what the fuck do you want? Okay, we'll just go back to it. We'll go back to Britain now. See you in a minute.
Let's move on to Fluffy's topic. Sorry about that, folks. I sort of get
Well,
to...
we're in for a good one today because I've got 2 topics. So we're going to take a vote on which one we want to do, and then we're going to save the next one for next week. So topic 1, which I had in mind and I mentioned at the beginning of the video, is patches. Are they a good thing, or are they making developers lazy?
Okay.
Or, by the way, if you don't know what patches are, it's like when you get a download for... It's like, you buy a game, it's not finished, and then they add more to it as they're going on. Like, not just DLC, but like, making the game better, like they should have done when they were still making the game.
Like I Am
Right.
Bread.
Yeah, not that kind of bad, because they're adding more stuff to the game to make it more fun, whereas...
Yes, but it's glitched to fuck, and you'll see that in my next episode.
Alright, in that case, yes, I am bad. Yeah, so is it a good thing, or is it making developers lazy, knowing they can just do it later when the game's already out and they're already making money? Or, the other topic is, Steam. Is it really a good thing? Are we still getting the quality for our money?
Ooh, that is a good choice of topics.
Indeed.
PapaKenn, what do you vote?
You sounded like Victor for a second, just saying. Oh, Jack boy, that is a good choice of topic.
I got stuff to say about both, but let's go ahead and I vote Steam.
You vote Steam? I'm gonna vote patches.
Oh, it looks like we're onto a coin toss. Where's my wallet? Ah! Fuck! I just kneeled on my headphones and it ripped me down. Right, 3, 2. Why am I counting it down? Hold on. Right, what's what?
Yeah,
Alright, heads is patches. And it's tails, so we're talking about Steam.
Steam, okay.
Just to prove it was. I mean, that doesn't exactly prove anything. So, yeah.
Okay, send us out. This is Fluffy's topic. Would you like to introduce it and give us your thoughts?
Alright. Well, yeah, I have to, otherwise you won't know what I'm talking about. Me
That's
being
how this
for a
works, you
second.
see.
So is Steam... Oh my god, puberty. Is Steam really worth the money we're injecting into it anymore? The reason I say that is because I have found some absolutely beautiful games on Steam. I have found games such as Broforce. I have bought pretty much every Rainbow Six game ever for 20 quid. I have bought every Saints Row game ever for 30 quid. I fucking love what I can get on Steam. The point is, any fucker can spend 20 minutes in any game engine and produce the biggest pile of shite and then get it put on Steam. So, the point I'm trying to raise is there's a lot of money being injected into Steam. I think Steam should have a lot more investigation into the games they're putting on, because now... But then there's been some games me and SKO'S have bought to try and do them for a Scruffy video, and then we've started playing it and thought, this is shite. So now we're just going to put together like a massive collection of really shit games to do in videos, but still, it makes me kind of sad that it's come to the point where we're making videos on how shit games are, rather than doing what we want us to do in videos, which is have a laugh and enjoy them.
Okay, I've got a thought on this that just, when you were talking there, it just totally sprung to mind. It's something that Steam could do, and I would actually love to pitch this idea to them because it could help. You know how when you play... Sorry, well, I've totally just jumped in front of you.
Oh, of course.
You could have got away with that and you wouldn't have known, because you never said who's next.
Exactly. But you know how, like, on Steam, it shows you at the side with a little thumbs up or a neutral line or a thumbs down whether the game's been voted good or bad, and then normally you can read the reviews to find out why.
Yeah.
What Steam should implement, which would be phenomenal, is the same system: green thumbs, orange neutral line, and red thumbs down. But if a game gets too many red thumbs down, it should go back to being greenlit. So the creators have to then work on it and, you know, like submit it again. The way the greenlit thing works, obviously, and that means that people aren't just wasting their money on it, and that it is try before you buy again. Because like Fluffy's saying, like, you're buying so much shit that you're like, why did I pay money for this? That should be, at the moment it gets like negative reviews, it should be put back to greenlit stages. Either that, or have a team on Steam whose job is purely to play these games, and if they decide it's shit, send it back to greenlit.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, think how much money Steam gets on a daily basis. This is a multi-million-dollar company, at least. I don't know the exact figures, I haven't done enough research on this topic. But they have more than got enough money to pay people as beta testers. Like, not even on an employee basis. Like, they just pick people who they've got on a mailing list, send them keys for games, and say, right, in return, you get so much money, or if the game is good, you can keep the game for free, depending how much the game's worth.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd well be up for that. I'd well be a Steam beta tester. But that's kind of what annoys me. Is they've even got you can get beta features that they're implementing for Steam, and there are people beta testing for that, but they're not doing it for their main service, which is fucking games.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well.
Sorry, that was a long interjection.
No worries. Anyway,
let's cut Will off some more.
No.
Fuck yeah. Alright, so, I mean, I completely agree. Steam needs to implement some sort of checking system. Either they hire people to test out these games before they go live, or, like you said, send out keys to certain users so that they can be beta testers in a sense. Because the way it is right now is absolutely ridiculous. And there have been some games that have been removed from the Steam service, but not until like relatively big YouTubers or relatively big personalities online have pointed it out. Probably one of the biggest being, I don't know if you guys watch him, but Jim Sterling.
Used to.
He does. Well, basically, he's gone independent recently, and I think he actually still did this when he was still with the Escapist. But
hold on, he's left the Escapists.
yeah, he's independent now.
So that's why there's only doing 0 punctuation on the channel. I was wondering about that. Like, literally, if you go on the channel and it's all 0 punctuation, I was like, hold on a minute. I have to usually dig through everything to find 0 punctuation. What the fuck's going on?
And now we're back to the topic of YouTubers splitting up.
Yes.
Totally. No,
Why did you not bring that up earlier?
Fluffy, shut up. Well, continue.
Right. But I mean, he would play these games and like do like little Let's Plays, or as he calls them, squirty plays, on his channel, and just play these games. They're just absolute shit on Steam. They're absolutely horrible, and he's actually made videos talking about how, like, some of the creators of these games, they will delete negative reviews from the Steam site. They will, actually ban people that will put negative reviews on their games when the games are absolutely horrible. And it wasn't until like Jim Sterling and a few others made a big ruckus about it that Steam, or Valve or Steam, finally removed that game, because it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty bad. When that game never should have made it online in the first place. You have people in early access, like these games in early access, selling for selling for $10, selling for $20 or more, and they aren't worth, like, you wouldn't play them if they were free.
Yeah.
And people are making money off of this shit, and it's just absolutely ridiculous, and Steam needs to implement some quality control.
That's just brought up a quick point for me really quickly that I've just thought of. PapaKenn talking about like people deleting negative reviews. Do any of you guys remember Day One Gary's incident?
No.
Yes.
2013, right? I don't know if you're of Total Biscuit, the Cynical Brit.
Nope. No.
Okay, British YouTuber, absolutely fucking huge fan base, and he does a series called WTF Is, which is basically reviews. So, and he did a video called WTF Day One Gary's Incident, and he slammed that game, and rightly so. You look on the scene, that fucker's got 1 star, and if you ask me, that's 1 star more than it fucking deserved. The reason I brought this up is not only because it's a shit game and you shouldn't ever buy it, because he reviewed the game and absolutely slammed how fucking atrocious it was, as have many YouTube reviewers. And this was developed by Wild Game Studios, and do you know what they did? They put copyright strikes on every video that slammed it. They gave you a copyright strike saying you didn't have the right to monetize their content, which is bullshit, because everyone made follow-up videos showing the email where they said you can monetize this content, and it kicks off like fuck.
Kind of gone a little bit off topic, because this was like meant to be, is Steam still worth it?
No, yeah, sorry. My point was this game had made. Sorry, the point of that was this game managed to make it on Steam. No,
Wait, this is going on a while. Let's do concluding thoughts. PapaKenn, you start. Give Fluffy some time to think.
Well, basically, I think that just above all, Steam and Valve need to implement some form of quality control on the games they put up for sale. I mean, yes, there are certain ones that get greenlit, and they end up being good quality, but at the same time, you have all of this shovelware coming online, and people
shovelware.
Shovelware, yeah, it's just a bunch.
That is a fantastic term. Fucking round of applause for that. That is a fantastic word.
Yes, I completely made that term up myself. Wink, wink. But yeah,
okay, continue.
They just they need to implement quality control and get shit under control.
Yeah. I'm going to look at my concluding thought is going to be on a different sort of side of it, which is, I think there needs to be something in place as well for the people whose games are really good and are just not getting found. I found a game dead cheap called Blood of the Werewolf, And I'm thinking, I mean, it's like $3.99 now, but I got it for like £2 in the Steam sale, or even less, maybe it was £1. But it is one of the best like side-scrolling games I've ever played. And I got another one called Squishy the Suicidal Pig, which is ridiculous, but very, very fun. And I got that for 9p. So like, I think there needs to be something in place. Like, I've told hundreds of people about this game, and no one has heard of it. And it's like, there needs to be something in place for the other end of the thing. Like, instead of the shit games, like getting, like, yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, shit games need to be removed and stuff, but there needs to be something in place for like the whole beta testing thing. People should be beta testing this game and going, it's actually really fucking good. Let's put it maybe on the homepage for a day or something. There needs to be something in place for those developers who are making phenomenal content and it is not getting seen.
Maybe we should start up a little bit of a sideshow on YouTube. On the Cult of Awesome, like the three of us, we all play the same game and sort of give our opinion on it, and put it in one video.
That could be fun.
Cool. But another. Oh shit! I had a point there I was going to make. Oh yeah, this is a point I want to make that I thought of while Will was talking as well. Just about that whole negative thing. Look at it the same way YouTubers should. If you can't watch your own videos, it should apply to the same. Like, you shouldn't be making videos. If you can't play your own game, you shouldn't be making the fucking game.
Yeah, but the problem with that is they're making money on it. So.
Okay, Fluffy. Concluding thoughts.
Concluding thoughts. I want to kind of rip off what SKO'S said. To be honest, it's kind of right. If you can't do it right, don't do it. But unfortunately, people do it because they're making money. Concluding thoughts. Steam has got more than enough money. It kind of applies to Steam. They're making that much money. They don't need to give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
Because think how many games people have got on Steam. What are they going to do if Steam goes down?
Yeah.
You've now lost all those games.
And a shit ton of money.
Yeah. I mean, I think they might offer like a DRM thing if Steam closes down so you can download the games you've already got, hopefully.
There's always GOG.com.
Oh, do you know what? Yeah, let's plug GOG a minute. I love GOG. GOG is sick. I found loads of good games on there for cheap.
And it's DRM free.
Yeah, it is.
Free advertising!
Free advertising. Da-da-da-da. We should start doing like Google AdWords on our video, just like your advertisement here. It's like in the middle of a topic, and while we're on this topic... No, yeah, concluding thoughts.
Okay.
Steam needs to behave itself. Steam needs to fucking get a decent system in place, and get rid of the shit games.
Fluffy, you done the intro, I've directed it. PapaKenn, would you like to see us out?
Oh no, hold on, if we're at the end of the video, I want to talk about two things dead quick. Right, we're adding 2 new things to videos. Between... Scott, you never applied to this, so you're not included now, fuck you. No, between each topic, we want to answer some questions. So between the first and second topic and the second and third topic, we want just random questions from you guys we can just give a quick fire answer to. So leave your questions in the comments below, or tweet us, or whatever, and we'll answer it in the next video. Next point I want to make really dead quick. As you probably heard, there's actually music in this podcast. There was meant to be in the other 2, I forgot to edit it in. Whoops! The point I wanted to make is, there are a lot of bands out there who aren't getting their music discovered, like we were just saying about games. If you want your band to have their music playing in our videos, just send the Cult of Awesome an inbox, or message us, or tweet us, or what the fuck ever. Just give us some way of getting to your band's music, and we will plug your music. We'll put it in this podcast, we'll talk about your band, and we'll put it in the description below.
Alright, Awesomeites, thank you all very much for joining us for the third podcast, or the PodCOAst, however the hell we were saying it. And as Fluffy said, let us know what you think down below, leave your questions for us, and like he said, bands contact Fluffy specifically, because he's the one behind all that.
Well, yeah, I'm the editor, so always try and adjust them to Fluffy, and then the other guys know how to get hold of me.
Yes. But alright, everyone, well, do you guys have anything else you want to say?
Nah, I'm good. So's Fluffy. Nope, Fluffy's fine.
No, I'm looking at my calendar and it says I like bacon more than you. That's not fun.
Alright, real quick.
I'm sorry, Will. What did you just say, Scott? Fluffy's good?
Yep.
Alright, to steal a line from SKO in his videos.
Oh god, I just turned my headphones off.
If you like this video, this podcast, Hadouken! That like button, and we will see you all next month for the 4th PodCOAst.
Alternatively, you can Kamehameha the like button. Ha!
Or
references.
Can I just point out when you said Hadouken, I actually done the Hadouken to my camera, perfectly timed.
Nice!
I bet it won't be in editing. I bet it comes unsynced somewhere.
No, you'll fix it.
No, will I now?
Okay, else mates. There it is.
Later.
Later, guys.